Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Spheres. I'm John Schoettler, Vice President of Global Real Estate and Facilities for Amazon. I want to take a moment to thank everyone being here today because today is a very special day for us at Amazon. Today, the Spheres truly come to life. Since we made the decision to stay in downtown, we've invested more than $4 billion in construction and development of our urban campus. But beyond the dollars invested, we're also working very hard with business groups and education leaders to continue Seattle's legacy as a world-class city. For the past year, hundreds of people have worked to build these fascinating and unique structures. And many of those folks from Selin, NBBJ, and Seneca are actually here today lining the walkways. So let's take a moment to give these teams a round of applause. The Spheres were a consequence of a lot of deep thought. We wanted to create a unique environment for employees to collaborate and innovate together. We love working in the heart of this vibrant city of Seattle, but sometimes it feels like nature is missing from the urban environment. The Spheres will provide that missing link to nature, but we not only want the Spheres to be an inspiring spot for employees, we're also confident they will be a benefit to Seattleites and Seattle visitors too. These structures are truly a work of art. The shape used to build the Spheres is a Catalan. They were designed by NBBJ and masterfully produced by the construction team Canron down in Portland. And of course, we want to thank them for their careful and impressive work. At any given time, there will be over 400 species of plants inside the Spheres from countries all around the world. Each plant has a unique story to tell, and we hope that employees working inside the Spheres will learn those stories too. Right now, the majority of our plants are at a greenhouse in Woodinville, where we're also storing the University of Washington's beautiful plant collection while they're rebuilding their greenhouse. Let's give the folks from Tufel Nursery a round of applause for all of their hard work, and also the folks from the University of Washington for their important and continued partnership. So today we are so glad you could join us in what is truly day one for the Spheres. To officially begin the story of the first plant planted here within the Spheres, I'd like to let Ron, who is my horticulturist, I also call Ron the Lorax, talk a little bit more about the story in just a minute. But before we do that, I want to thank our community leaders and city officials here with us today, including Deputy Mayor Kim and Councilmember Bagshaw, and introduce to you a few more people who we are so glad could be here with us today. The first I'd like to introduce to you is King County Executive Dow Constantine. Dow?
Thank you, and thank you, John. And I want to join in my thanks to all of the men and women who have helped build not just this remarkable facility we're standing in, but this remarkable headquarters complex that is going to help define downtown Seattle for years to come. I've played a role in many firsts, so it's great to be part of a ceremonial first planting, especially right in the middle of downtown Seattle. Now, I would have never thought, but about 27 years ago or so, I started my very first law firm right there on the 6th floor of that building across the street that used to be called the United Airlines building. Looking at this now, the transformation is truly remarkable. There was not a lot going on in this end of downtown back in the early 1990s. You had the 6th Avenue Motor Inn across the street. Look what's become of that. The liquor store over here, and I don't remember what was here, but it was not memorable enough for me, even staring out my window every day, to be able to recall it at this point. Amazon's new headquarters, though, is a remarkable transformation. It is an amazing architectural achievement that has made these blocks in the South Lake Union and Belltown neighborhood into an incredible statement about this city, this region, and its place in the global economy. You know, when I was a kid, speaking of the global economy, Seattle really was a one-company town. And the Boeing bust had everyone asking, who's going to be that last worker leaving town who will have to turn out the lights? Well, today, our region is seeing dramatic growth, new growth in business and jobs and construction, and all that symbolizes our arrival on the global economic stage and our economic diversity and resiliency. Amazon once inhabited, hard to believe now, some modest digs down by the market. And its original claim to fame was that every worker's desk was made from an old door. Well, now Amazon is completing the construction of its $4 billion headquarters complex. It's billion with a B, $4 billion into this remarkable headquarters complex. And I believe you've now officially exhausted the supply of used doors in town. So hundreds of other internet companies were founded in Seattle in the 1990s. This one, Amazon, not only survived, but it grew and grew and grew some more into one of the world's truly iconic brands. The Amazon spheres will be an oasis in the middle of this hive of economic activity. It will be a place where the company's many employees can take some time to themselves, to commune with nature in the middle of downtown and among 2,500 species of plants and trees. This tropical garden will feature a 72-degree temperature every single day, just like Seattle itself. And if I could deliver that to all the rest of my constituents who don't work at Amazon, I would be guaranteed re-election for life. So let's work on that one. Amazon was founded in Jeff Bezos' garage. Like many companies, it started with one genius in a basement or a garage, and it grew up right here in Seattle. With the construction of this new headquarters project, including the Amazon spheres, the company's commitment to its home region is cast in glass and in steel, and I guess in chlorophyll as well. Its very ambitious and imaginative forms are contrasted with the vertical and horizontal lines of all of the buildings marching up and down the streets of our city. And they remind us of a connection to the natural world of the Pacific Northwest that brought so many of us here. I think Amazon needs to be really commended for doing something remarkable, not just building office space, but building a sense of permanence and a sense of place and identity for our city. I want to thank you for creating a new, unique place in this long-established central city that is going to be one of those icons that defines Seattle, just as Amazon helps define us around the world. Your investment will be an incubator for new ideas and new creativity, and will remain a physical symbol that Amazon has never forgotten the place where it grew up. Thank you, John, and thanks to all of you.
Thank you, Dow. I appreciate those kind words. And now I'd like to welcome Sally Bagshaw, City Council member, to the podium. Sally?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sally Bagshaw, one of your City Council members, but I represent District 7, and you are in District 7 right now. So I want to say thank you to all the women and men, those of you at Selin, at Seneca, NBBJ that have designed and built this. Please know how important you are, not just in the work in this building, but in the whole feel of our downtown community. I live about 6 blocks away from here. My husband and I have been living for 17 years downtown and watching how much has changed. And I want to say thank you, John, just look at what you have done from your heart, what this company has done for our city, starting with Mary's Place. Many of you know that Amazon donated a building for a year that was housing up to 200 families. You have worked with youth care. You've donated money for our food banks. It's really made a tremendous difference. And the greenness that you're bringing here, not just inside this beautiful sphere, but down on the sidewalks. You're helping us make the wider pedestrian sidewalks work for people and the bike lanes out so that we can get around our town without feeling like you have to be in your single occupancy vehicle. You're making a huge difference. And I want to throw a couple of things in that I'm working on right now. Many of you have heard of the term age-friendly. We're not just focused on seniors, we're talking about sidewalks where people can walk of all ages so that you may be able to get to Mirabella, but if you're a young parent with a stroller, you can also get across the sidewalks and the crosswalks safely. This is the kind of thing that you are helping us with. And John Pearson, many of you know, has created this wonderful thing called Market to Mohai. And it will be a pathway that goes from Pike Place Market, down Bell, down Denny, right past here, and then down Westlake. And I know you've contributed to that. We appreciate it. It is just transforming what's happening down here. So again, I want to say many thanks and to recognize you for your hard work, because you're making a difference, and also to our young environmentalists from Lake Washington School District, we're glad you're here. And I understand that this is a what? An Australian tree fern, the first plant that's coming in here. Thank you for contributing to the green.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you very much, and thank you for all your advocacy for Amazon. And I know when Sally comes to visit me sometimes, she rides her bicycle. So it's very important that the cycle tracks are in place for you.
Thank you very much.
You bet. So I'd now like to welcome John Scholes, President and CEO of the Downtown Seattle Association. John?
Thank you, John, and good afternoon, everybody. I want to add my thanks to everybody who's played a part in creating this incredible building, the Seneca Group, MBBJ, and Sellon, and also acknowledge Kleiss Properties, and I saw Kleiss's president, Richard Stevenson, in the audience for their important role that they've played in this neighborhood and their partnership with Amazon. They assembled this land over many years, and they held on to it with a long-term vision to do something important. Instead of selling it off in piecemeal, they wanted to hold that land and do something significant, and together with Amazon, they've done that. It's great to be here today. If we were standing here 60-plus years ago, this dirt in this neighborhood was used to welcome the world to Seattle for the World's Fair, for parking lots and motels and hotels, and for a World's Fair that was about celebrating innovation. And today, this dirt is being used to show the world what it means to be innovative in how we design and build, how we run companies, and how we affect people across the world. And it's something we should all be proud of in inviting innovation into the core of our downtown. There's not a lot of great cities that don't have a healthy and vibrant downtown. It's difficult to have a great city without the heart of your city being healthy and vibrant like ours is. Amazon's investment in the urban core is a big part of why we are healthy, vibrant downtown today. They have raised the bar on design, the quality of these office buildings, this ground level retail. They could have done things a lot differently, but they made some deliberate choices to have a significant impact on this neighborhood. The way they're partnering with their neighbors like Fair Start and other community organizations, including the Downtown Seattle Association. They're having a significant impact on this neighborhood by employing lots of people, but also by investing in affordable housing, in new transit service, and an incredible public realm. So I'm really proud to be here today to celebrate this key milestone, to plant a plant with all of you, and look forward to this building filling up with lots of Amazon workers and the public who gets to see true innovation in the core of our city. So thank you, John.
Thank you, John. We are so proud to call downtown Seattle home and are lucky to have great community leaders like yourself. Now I'd like to welcome Ron Gagliardo, Amazon's senior manager and horticulturist, to the podium. There are a lot of cool jobs at Amazon, but quite frankly, I think Ron probably has the coolest one. I hired Ron just over 3 years ago to curate the plant collection that will eventually inhabit the spheres. Ron has traveled far and wide to amass a beautiful collection, an educational collection of plants, all while paying a close attention to the conservation aspect of the spheres. Many of Ron's team members are also here today and have been nursing this world-class plant collection at our greenhouses. So let's give them a round of applause for their awesome and impressive work. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Ron.
Thank you, John. I'm a little nervous because I've waited 3 years for this day, right? But thank you, thanks a lot. Thanks to everyone that's here. This has been a collaboration beyond anyone's wildest dreams with architects and contractors and landscape architects and horticulturists from around the world. And I feel really, really lucky to be part of it. I am a botanist by education and a horticulturist by training, and I think I have one of the most interesting jobs for sure that I've ever had. To be able to create an environment that is comfortable for people, but also able to sustain a plant collection that has meaning and value and is diverse is a horticulturist's dream for sure. And I feel very fortunate. People ask me a little bit often, why are we doing this? Why has Amazon done this? And you've heard it a couple times today already, but we've talked about this connection to nature that we miss in a typical office environment. So this is a big part of what the Spheres is about. Over time, I have seen kind of the programming element of the Spheres change a little bit from just not only a place where Amazonians can come and sit and refresh and innovate and think and meet a colleague or have a walking meeting to a place that is more educational, not only for Amazonians, but also for public visitors. So I see this as an amazing educational experience, not just for us, but for everyone. I get asked a lot, what's going to be inside? Well, Dow talked earlier about the temperature in the Spheres, and we have temperature parameters that are comfortable for people during the day, during occupied hours. And one of our goals was to set out to find a plant collection that would also thrive in this environment. And we have been doing that for the past 3 years. So my team out at our greenhouse out in Woodinville, our Tufel nursery team, our Amazon horticulture team has been growing and propagating plants now for 3 years, and today marks plant number 1, day 1 here in the Spheres. We are very lucky to have tapped into a great network of botanical gardens and universities, private growers that have helped us put this collection together. And you've heard me say the word meaningful collection, and what that really means are plants that have interesting stories that mean something to us, whether they're something that's food or a source of medicine, or they have an interesting pollination biology, or for some of our plants, they're very rare in nature and threatened. And working through this botanical garden network, we're actually helping to preserve them through sharing propagations of these plants. And we've received plants from these collaborators literally all over the world. But one of the most important ones has been right here in our backyard, and that's through the University of Washington. And Toby Bradshaw is here from the Department of Biology, and they have been really, really helpful to us. And we are partnering with them long term. We're helping them with storage of their plant collection now at our greenhouses while their new greenhouses are being built. And we're continuing to share plant material and ideas and techniques and things. So it's been really great. Thank you, Toby. As the plants move from the greenhouse into the Spheres, we're really excited about all the things that are going to happen. You know, how the Spheres will transform and become more and more green over the next several months, but also about the stories that the plants bring with them and the stories that we'll be able to tell while people are in here. So that's really an exciting time for me and for our staff to see all this happening. A long time in the waiting. We talked a little bit earlier about collaborations, and we're also collaborating with another educational entity, and that's the Environmental and Adventure School here in Lake Washington. And I'm really happy to have a group of their students here who have also visited our greenhouse several weeks ago and toured around with our staff looking at things like chocolate and cures for malaria and Venus flytraps. So I'm really happy to have this group here, and I have a little surprise for you. One of the compelling reasons for this group to come out to our greenhouse was that they have their own greenhouse back at their school, and they are up and coming horticulturists, I think. So we've been able to put together, first of all, remember this day? So I'm going to set this here. And more importantly, we learned that their greenhouse was in need of a little help, maybe a little renovation. So we would like to award the Environmental and Adventure School $10,000 to help you with your greenhouse repairs and contribute to your conservation program. So I'd like all of you, I'm going to have them come here, all of you, the students, to come up here for a moment, because you're not going to get away with this without helping us with some things. We need some, so we have a tree to plant. So I'm going to give, okay, there we go. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take 5 of you at a time. We're going to go up, and we need some help shoveling some soil onto the plant, okay? And we'll do 5 at a time, and we'll rotate. Sound good? All right.
Thank everyone for coming here today and to help us with this very momentous occasion. Hopefully now you have a better sense of why we are so excited for the coming months as we begin to add even more plants to the spheres. At Amazon, we like to say it's always day one. And when it comes to the spheres, it is true in so many ways. We can't wait for you to come back and experience even more greenery inside of this space in 2018. In the meantime, we hope you enjoy your new public dog park right outside the Spheres and the public green spaces coming around the Spheres in the next month or so. And that concludes our gathering for you all this afternoon. And as you exit, we have some special gifts waiting for you. Thank you again for coming.